Today, I'm going to discuss 11 really strange and unusual symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. While many people are familiar with common symptoms such as lower back pain, depression, high blood pressure, inflammation, and autoimmune diseases, I guarantee you haven't heard about the ones I'm about to cover. I'll divide this video into two parts. The first part will provide basic information without delving into technical details, while the second part will explore the scientific mechanisms behind these symptoms and their underlying causes. You have about 25,000 genes in your body, and 10% of these genes are significantly influenced by vitamin D. Moreover, when you get a blood test for vitamin D, you're only shown the inactive form of the vitamin, not what's happening at the cellular level. Therefore, blood levels of vitamin D don't always accurately reflect the actual levels of active vitamin D in your cells. There is an active suppression of positive information about vitamin D in the media and medical research because it competes directly with the best-selling drugs, challenging entire careers dedicated to other hypotheses. So, let's dive into these lesser-known symptoms. Excessive sweating of the head. This is often seen in infants but can also affect teenagers and adults. If you notice excessive sweating, localized only to the head, consider a vitamin D deficiency. Night sweats. Even if your room temperature is cool, you might sweat profusely at night and find your pillow damp in the morning. This could be a sign of vitamin D deficiency. Mood swings. You might experience rapid changes from joy to irritability, anger, and sadness. Vitamin D significantly regulates mood and affects emotions due to its impact on the brain. If you or someone close to you experiences emotional roller coasters, it might be due to a vitamin D deficiency. Procrastination. Feeling overwhelmed and unproductive can also be linked to vitamin D deficiency. It's surprising how much motivation can be affected by this deficiency. Panic attacks. While I've discussed panic attacks in other videos in relation to vitamin B1 deficiency, vitamin D also plays a role. Panic attacks involve intense fear or high anxiety, which can be related to hormonal imbalances. Neurotransmitters like serotonin are crucial in managing panic attacks. For those suffering from these attacks and considering medication, high doses of vitamin D3 might be worth exploring. Pain in the pelvis, lower back, hips, and upper legs. Vitamin D is closely related to bone formation, and a deficiency can cause a dull pain in the bones, often due to bone density loss. This is unfortunate because it's easy to correct with higher doses, around 10,000 to 20,000 IU per day. If you're concerned that 20,000 IU might be toxic, know that 40 minutes of summer sun provides as much. Toxic levels are typically reached only with doses of 200,000 IU taken over several months. Loss of muscle strength. Vitamin D directly affects calcium levels, and without enough vitamin D, calcium in the muscles will be insufficient. Calcium is necessary for muscle contraction and muscle production. Without vitamin D and calcium, muscle growth is impossible. This weakness often affects the legs and shoulders, which are key for physical strength. Vitamin D also regulates pain. Stiffness. This usually occurs in the knees and fingers and is related to inflammation, as well as the impact of vitamin D on cartilage and collagen. You might also feel stiffness in the sternum, especially when stretching backward, which can even affect your breathing. Chronic fatigue. This symptom is related to your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in your cells. Vitamin D is crucial for supporting these mitochondria, and without enough vitamin D, energy production is compromised. 10. Decreased thinking speed. You might feel like your brain is running too many applications at once, which slows down your ability to think quickly. 11. Difficulty feeling satisfied. If you don't feel full after a meal, it could be due to a nutrient-poor diet. A vitamin D deficiency might lead you to overeat in an attempt to compensate, as this deficiency can affect your sense of satiety. Now that you have an overview of these symptoms, let's delve deeper into each one for more interesting insights. Symptom 1. Head sweating. The head has a significantly higher number of sweat glands compared to other parts of the body. This can affect the autonomic nervous system, leading to excessive sweating localized to the head. Symptom 2. Night sweats. This sweating is linked to how vitamin D regulates an overactive immune system. When you're deficient in vitamin D, your immune system may overreact, regulated by a small structure in the brain called the hypothalamus. A deficiency can cause your body to overproduce heat, requiring more sweating to balance this out. Symptom 3. Mood swings. Emotional fluctuations can be related to cortisol dysregulation, a hormone produced by the adrenal glands. A lack of vitamin D can increase cortisol levels, leading to significant mood changes. Symptom 4. Low motivation. The brain's nucleus accumbens, which is crucial for motivation, rewards, and addiction management, can be disrupted by a vitamin D deficiency. This can affect your motivation and task completion abilities. Symptom 5. Panic attacks. These attacks involve intense fear or high anxiety and are linked to the amygdala, a brain structure that regulates fear and requires vitamin D for proper functioning. Vitamin D is also essential for balancing serotonin, which is often associated with mood regulation. Symptom 6. Pain in the pelvis, lower back, and thigh muscles. These pains can be related to osteomalacia, a severe vitamin D deficiency condition affecting calcium and bone density. Osteomalacia results in very soft bones, and I believe it is more common than we think. I suspect I had a subclinical form of this condition in high school due to poor diet and vitamin D deficiency, which led to fractures as my bones became soft and essential proteins failed to develop correctly. Vitamin D is crucial for controlling calcium absorption in the intestines, increasing it up to 20 times. There are two systems associated with vitamin D. One regulates calcium, and the other is not related to calcium. If you have low vitamin D levels, often around 30 or less, it's recommended to take high doses of vitamin D3, between 10,000 and 20,000 IU per day, until your levels improve. For bone issues, sporadic vitamin D intake, like once a week, might be sufficient, but this is not ideal for severe symptoms. Symptom 7. Muscle weakness. Vitamin D regulates calcium, which is essential for muscle contraction. Without sufficient vitamin D, calcium levels drop, leading to diffuse muscle pain and difficulty contracting muscles. Symptom 8. Stiffness. Stiffness often affects the knees and finger joints. Vitamin D is necessary for maintaining cartilage health, and a deficiency can cause inflammation, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees and hips. If you use a computer extensively, you might also experience stiffness in your fingers, potentially leading to arthritis. Vitamin D is essential for maintaining cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. Even the ribs, connected to the sternum by cartilage, can be affected. Regular stretching is important to keep the rib cage open and prevent poor posture and hunching. Symptom 9. Chronic fatigue syndrome. This can be attributed to two main reasons. First, vitamin D controls mitochondrial production, the energy factories in cells. A deficiency reduces the number of mitochondria, resulting in less energy. Secondly, a vitamin D deficiency can activate certain viruses, such as the Epstein-Barr virus, which can lead to fatigue even without a severe infection. Regarding conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, it's observed that nearly 100% of individuals with Epstein-Barr virus reactivation or chronic fatigue syndrome have experienced a major traumatic event, such as the loss of a loved one or job loss. However, a vitamin D deficiency can also be a contributing factor. If you are deficient in vitamin D and experiencing a loss, the stress will impact you more severely. Therefore, it's recommended to take a high dose of vitamin D, such as 50,000 IU per day, to help manage chronic fatigue syndrome. Symptom 10. Mental slowness or difficulty making decisions. Vitamin D has a significant impact on the frontal lobe of the brain, which is involved in neuron communication and concentration. A deficiency in vitamin D can impair these functions, leading to distractions and slowed thinking processes. Symptom 11. Difficulty feeling satisfied after a meal. Leptin signals to the brain that you are full. If you are deficient in vitamin D, this signaling mechanism may not work properly. Vitamin D helps leptin function more effectively. Additionally, insulin, which facilitates nutrient uptake into cells, may also be less effective in the presence of a vitamin D deficiency, leading to persistent hunger. Supplementing with vitamin D can improve insulin sensitivity, enhance nutrient absorption by cells, and increase satisfaction after meals. I hope this information helps you understand these unusual symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. Remember to complement your vitamin D intake with magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc, and vitamin B6, as these are important cofactors that support the effectiveness of vitamin D and prevent related issues. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next video.